But then the audacity came from Bill when Bill was getting frustrated that Andre would not let him in to talk to Dani because it's Andre's house now and not Bill's, even though Bill was on the deed of the house when they first got bought. Bill had the audacity to call Dani his wife, which is crazy because she's now Andre's wife and he's married to Hayley. I think Bill really came across desperate in these scenes today. What is up, everybody? Back to talk about another episode of Beyond the Gates. You're getting Beanie Nick today because I'm having a bad hair day, but might be a bad hair day. But it was a great episode day of Beyond the Gates because they really brought it today with the main storylines that have been building as of late. I mean, I guess you got to take out the Chelsea and Madison engagement. They went to tell Anita and Vernon about their engagement today, and then Madison later revealed to Chelsea that she's not going to leave to Denmark after all. I just feel like Chelsea and Madison's storylines never really go anywhere, and I think this is another example of that. But take that out of it, and today's episode was pretty damn good. Right before the opening credits, you had Lynette and Hayley running into the hospital with Lynette shouting that she needs help, that Hayley needs help. It was very dramatic. I loved it. The Lynette and Hayley stuff has been very intriguing to me, and it was no different today. Ashley was at work already. She was having a conversation with Naomi. Ashley learned that Naomi hasn't told anyone about her cancer gene variant yet. I still don't understand why Naomi is keeping that from everybody, but I guess Naomi has to have some kind of storyline, but I think it's falling flat. But they were there when Hayley and Lynette came in to talk about Hayley being mugged. This is the plot and the scam they set up yesterday when Lynette punched Hayley in the face. Hayley is happy that Ashley and Naomi are there. Hayley brought up some self-defense class that she and Naomi took long ago that she said she tried to use on the mugger, but it didn't work. And then when Ashley took Hayley to the back, Naomi noticed Lynette and noticed Lynette's hurt hand, but Lynette played it off and put on her gloves and everything. At first, Lynette, when she learned that Naomi was Bill's daughter, Dani's daughter, she thought that Naomi was the model, but no, Naomi is the lawyer. I'm wondering if eventually Lynette's going to be involved with this whole Dani modeling agency, because everybody be turning down Dani and Pamela's modeling agency. They got to get someone. Maybe that someone will be Lynette. I mean, I think it should be Lynette if we're talking about models. But Bill had been called from Hayley after the attack in quotation marks, happened, but Bill was busy with something else, which we'll get to in a second. But Naomi came in to comfort Hayley and said that she called the chief of police, Elon, to come over and question Hayley and Lynette about what happened. She went straight to the top. Ashley, meanwhile, was trying to be nice to Lynette, giving her some water, seeing that she was shaken up. And then once Ashley walked away, Lynette made some comment that Ashley's more like the neighborhood watch and not a nurse. I think today was a great episode for Lynette. I mean, I've been hyping up the character from jump. I think she's a very interesting character with this backstory for Hayley alone. But I think the actress is doing good in the role of being a shit stirrer, a shit talker, and a con woman who is now helping Hayley, as people suspect online and some of you in the comments. I do think eventually Lynette might be the cause of Hayley's downfall. I don't know if that cause is going to be intentional or accidental, but I do think Lynette will be involved with Hayley's downfall at some point. We'll circle back to this in a second. Today, Bill was, of course, trying to get a hold of Dani. As we saw yesterday, when he tried to call Dani, Andre put him on ignore on Dani's phone. Dani was with Pamela and Andre like yesterday after getting a pitch from the fashion designer Tatum Stewart to see if she's going to become the the face of that collection. Dani was still undecided at the beginning of today's episode. Of course, Andre and Pamela want her to take that job so that she can get back in the saddle. Andre seems to really think this could put Dani back on track. I feel like Andre really wants this marriage with Dani to be the marriage with Bill that she never had. This became a big subject later in the episode. But the drama came when Pamela left and Bill came knocking on the door. And Dani was going to go up to rest. But when Andre, of course, sees that Bill is the one knocking at the door, he was not happy. And they got into a scuffle with both of them insulting the other. But then the audacity came from Bill when Bill was getting frustrated that Andre would not let him in to talk to Dani because it's Andre's house now and not Bill's, even though Bill was on the deed of the house when they first got bought. Bill had the audacity to call Dani his wife, which is crazy because she's now Andre's wife and he's married to Hayley. I think Bill really came across desperate in these scenes today when trying to get to Dani. Dani heard them bickering and Dani let Bill come into the house, of course, to say his piece real quick. Bill came to talk about the engagement news, Chelsea's engagement news to Madison, which Dani didn't know about yet. Bill thinks that Dani should be more upset about this, but she's not. Dani throws it in Bill's face how quickly Bill moved with Hayley when it came to getting engaged and getting married. But Bill says that Chelsea might move away to Denmark and that Chelsea might basically be a Dani and throw away her own dreams for someone else's, which is what I was saying, that I feel like Andre is the one right now married to Dani, trying to give Dani the life she didn't have with Bill because of Bill. And then here's Bill suddenly so concerned about Chelsea, even though Bill is the one that did that to Dani with their marriage in the first place. This is when Naomi called and Bill learned that Hayley was mugged, even though she wasn't mugged. She was punched in the face by Lynette. But that made Bill leave. When Bill left, Dani did seem to be worried about Bill driving when he's upset. And Andre said that she shouldn't be, basically. Chelsea and Madison came over to break the news that Bill already spoiled. And then when Dani asked about Denmark, Andre told Chelsea that Bill is the one that spoiled the surprise. Once Chelsea and Madison left, Andre told Dani that Bill came over using any excuse to see Dani. And Dani was telling Andre that she doesn't need this reminder, but Andre made sure to give her this reminder and said that he doesn't want Bill to spoil her opportunities again. And I mean, I guess this is just Andre being a good guy, but he's clearly getting more and more fed up with Bill. We saw that today in their confrontation. I'm really enjoying when we get these confrontations between Andre and Bill, though. I do think that is a good sign of a triangle, even though it's almost impossible to root for Dani and Bill because they're so toxic. But I think Dani has annoyed a lot of us, at least the past month, when she did kiss Bill and it took her forever to tell Andre, and then she gaslit Andre. So I don't know where I land with this actual triangle. I mean, I'm obviously team Dani and Andre over team Dani and Bill, but also Dani needs to be more real with Andre if that relationship is really going to work in the long run. Back to Bill, though, and back to Lynette and Hayley. Bill went to the hospital. Elon was already there questioning them, though. Elon questioned Hayley about the mugging. Another cop was questioning Lynette at the same time. They did their part as good scam artists by basically having a really similar story, a really dramatic story about how Hayley went to her car and was attacked, and Lynette heard the screaming and went over there to help Hayley and did, but Hayley is saying that they took her purse and that Hayley was scared that the guy was going to kill her. When Bill arrived, he wanted Elon to find the man who did this. Of course, Bill's very upset about it. Elon is saying there were no cameras in that area, but they're going to pull all the nearby cameras to look into it. And then when Elon left, Hayley told Bill that she's upset because the man took their engagement ring. I'm wondering where they're hiding all of this stuff, and if this will be part one of Hayley's downfall, possibly. We never got a follow up, though, with Hayley's fake pregnancy stuff, because Naomi knows some information. They've never really followed up on that at all now that I'm thinking about it, unless I'm forgetting something. I know that Bill didn't listen to Naomi and Jacob when they were trying to tell Bill that it was weird that Hayley was taking birth control to become better to have a baby again. That whole stupid thing. But I do wonder if they're ever going to follow up on some of these other schemes that Hayley has done. But I enjoyed the Hayley and Lynette scenes today immensely. They're looking like a good team of scam artists to me. The other big story today was Jacob and Smitty talking about Jacob's undercover work. June was on today and heard them talking, and I guess June knows about the Impaler and somehow knew they were talking about the Impaler. Smitty was laying out the order of operations to Jacob, who's about to go undercover because of that insider Max that we saw last week or the week before. Jacob has to meet with some guy named Ren. I don't think Jacob has met with the Impaler yet, unless I'm wrong. I think the person he's been talking about knowing is this Ren guy that we saw later in the episode when Jacob officially did go undercover. So Jacob doesn't know who the actual Impaler is yet, so that mystery will remain. When Jacob was going to his official undercover work, he wanted Smitty to try and get some more information out of June. And June kept bringing up the Impaler to Smitty, but didn't want to say more, just said that Smitty needs to be careful asking all these questions because the streets are dangerous. June was on those streets for a long time. I do appreciate that they're bringing in June into this story a little bit because she does need something to do outside of just giving people coffee at Orphe Jean's. I wonder just how deep June will be in this storyline. Jacob met up with the Rain guy. He's going to have to do some, or Ren guy, he's going to have to do some loyalty test and put some pressure on someone. Don't know what that means. Don't know if he'll have to off someone or attempt to off someone or just hurt someone. But he's getting in deep with this undercover work. I'm glad we at least got to see a little of it today. I hope they continue to show it and not tell us about it. So, yeah, these three storylines, the Jacob undercover, Hayley and Lynette doing their scam at the hospital, Bill and Andre's confrontation, very good episode. Hopefully the rest of the week can deliver like today did.